Welcome to Farming in Africa. I am here on the Sementia L&D farm. And on today's episode, I want us to talk to Fred about how to identify a healthy animal. If you are a lay person like me when it comes to livestock farming, but you are very interested still in knowing more about it, then I'm sure, just like me, you find it difficult in telling whether an animal is in a healthy state or the animal is sick, whether the animal is suffering from some kind of condition or the animal is just, pulling certain antics on you. Please join me as I speak to Fred today on how to identify a very healthy livestock. Hi, Fred.
Hi, Nadia. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you too?
I'm doing well.
We're on your farm today.
Yes.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Today we are here to pick your brain once again on how to identify a healthy animal. Remember, the last time we mentioned that a lot of people as their resolution to venture into livestock farming, but they are not experts like you, and they are looking up to you and farming in Africa as a whole to be able to go through this journey. So today, one of the questions from our followers is, how do you identify a healthy animal they want to go out there and buy? So please, that's the first thing we want to know today before we go into other questions we've come with. So take us through how to identify a healthy livestock animal.
Okay. There are so many things, but thank you very much for coming and for the question. There are several things that you have to look for when you are checking whether your animal is healthy or not. Okay. But before we go in that, I will want to lay down some fundamentals, because what you're asking me is what people actually hide. I've been to farms where people will say, okay, this animal, don't take a picture of, right? Let's keep these animals at the backyard, because people don't want you to show. It's like a behavior. Nobody wants you to see their bad side, right? Yeah. But here in Farming in Africa, I think our purpose is to educate. Yes. And, the good and both the bad, be vulnerable. So I hope this video, those watching us, I want you to understand something, that the example I want to give, imagine yourself being in the sky with God. You're not God, but imagine yourself being in the sky with God and looking down on earth and having living beings, focusing on people. As healthy, with all the medication, with all the food programs, with everything we have, there are some living beings like Nadia and I who are under the sun, healthy and talking to you. In that same moment, we are not handsome, richer, or better than some people, but there are same people who are now lying on the hospital bed, right? Fighting for their life. There are people who are limping now in serious pain right now, right? So the same thing when it comes to livestock farming. They are just living beings like us. As we are in the farm with, over 200 goats, most of them are feeding, some are healthy. Today you will come, one will be hurting something, one will be showing some symptoms. So just like if you were with God looking down, you will see healthy, a bit healthier, a bit sick, almost about to die. The same you should expect in every farm. So any farm that you follow, you watch, and it's always perfect, they are hiding from you because it's never perfect. There's no farm you go to that everything is healthy or there is no dying goats.
Even when it's a fresh farm,
it doesn't matter. You can have a healthy goat or sheep, cattle today, the next day that goat will die. So today I want to show you guys healthy goats, non-healthy goats, almost about to die goats, hopefully not, so that you guys really know what to do as you set up your farm. I think the goal for us this year is to farm like a business, and number two, let's make sure that farmers do not lose money.
Yeah.
And part of it is losing your flock. So I think the best way for us to do this, instead of me talking, is to go into one of our pens.
Definitely.
And then look at some of the signs, right?
Okay.
So come along with me.
Guys, you heard it. Follow us into the pen and let's see.
So this pen has some of our foreign breeds.
Okay.
So as we enter into the pen, I think this is what every farmer needs to do every morning. So every morning, the whole team, we come into this pen, and what we're going to do is observe and identify healthy, sick signs that we need to look out for. So before we even clean the pen, so you need to come in, touch, feel, see, and then make judgment for yourself. So if you look into the pen we just entered, the first thing I'm seeing is their poop.
Yes.
Right. So that is where I start my observation from. And I can see different kinds of poop. If you want to bring the camera here, today we're going to be looking at poop. I don't know what you're eating, but so if you start, exactly. So we can see this poop that we have here. It's very different from if you move a little bit backwards.
Yes.
This is another poop that you have here. Then if you move a little backwards, this is another poop that you have here. Right? Exactly. So 1, 2, and 3 are the 3 different poops that we have here. Right? What is this telling me? These are coming from different animals. This is not one animal. So what this is telling me is that these 3 animals have different states now. Right? So let's come here. So this poop is not bad, but I also wouldn't want to continue with this poop. Sorry, today I'm talking about poop, but
it's part of the journey.
It is part of it.
Yeah.
This poop is not a perfect poop. There has been a change in this animal's feed. Whether this animal had too much grain, right, or had too much green when he was grazing outside. And therefore, it's making his poop much softer.
Yes.
Right. So this animal needs to be observed for about 2-3 days.
Can this degenerate into a diarrhea condition?
If it is just from the change of feed, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, that's why I said this is not bad. If it was very watery, then I would say yes, let's be concerned. What I want to do now is look at this animal and say tomorrow does it change? If I don't change the food, for the next 3 days, is this poop going to change or is it going to be the same thing? Right? This is a good and okay poop for me. I wouldn't worry myself about this poop. It is still separated. It's stick together. This is a good poop. The perfect poop is what we're looking at.
The separated pellets.
The separated pellets, very hard, not broken. You know, it falls off smoothly. It lands. This is the perfect poop. Right, so this is the first sign, right? So I'm looking for a very watery poop around. So far so good. Everything I've seen is okay, nothing alarming, right? I'm also looking at the color of the poop. Right, because that poop, the reason why I said it might be too much green is because that poop is much greener. So if you look at that poop and you look at the perfect poop,
one,
you see that the perfect poop is black.
Yeah, it's darker than the screen one.
Exactly. So that means that this goat spent more time outside grazing than it should.
Then that brings us to why you always talk about how we should vary their feed. Right. So this goat, if he stayed out 5 hours yesterday, I want to reduce that to 3 hours or 4 hours and observe how his poop is going to be. Right. Thank you for watching this far. If you've enjoyed what you've watched so far, be rest assured we have a lot more like this for you. All I need you to do right now is to take just a second of your time, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any more content like this we bring your way. Also, you doing this would help reach more people with similar interests like yourself. So by all means, hit the subscribe button and thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of it.
This perfect. Whatever it's doing is working for that goat. So no need to worry about. Right. So the poop color should also tell you what is causing what. Even if it's very watery and it's green, it should tell you that it's from the grass.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If sometimes when you're feeding them with the pallet feed, it will give it a different color. It could give it a brown color, it could give it a black color. So your feed will also tell you what is causing that. Knowing that goats have the fastest metabolism aside deer. So they are the second. So that means that if you change a goat food slightly, something is going to change. You're going to see these differences.
Oh, then their poop is very telling.
Yes, that's why it's important that early morning you're at the farm observing all these things to drive those decisions.
So apart from poop, because can we move to other signs that
definitely
show that the animal is healthy?
Definitely. So as a farmer, once you move into your flock too, you want to look at who is isolated and who is together. Isolation, the moment the goat is isolated, he will also be very calm. So you want to look, because goats are animals who like to move in pack. They don't like isolation. So they will always want to be with other animals. So if I move in and I see a goat standing at this corner by itself, then I know that there is something wrong with that goat. So that alone should be able to tell you as a farmer that that goat needs some help. Let me also tell you one thing about the goats that's feeding. So if you look at this goat that are feeding, how does their tail look like?
This one is erect, pointed upwards. Same for the other one that just moved.
Exactly. So mostly when a goat is sick, his tail will be pointing downwards. Right. So again, that's a good sign for you to know. It's either he's sick or at that moment he's like in a different state.
What kind of difference?
I don't know. Maybe they are thinking, or maybe it's like too hot for him. He's uncomfortable.
Okay.
But a very easy sign of a goat that is isolated and standing on its own is that his tail is down. That means that goat definitely is sick, and you need to take care of that goat.
So goats as animals don't love to have some me time?
Not really. Not really. They
love company.
Will still be in their head, right? And not. They could be stressed. If they are stressed, but that means that goat need help. It's stressed, right? So it's weak, something. That's when they try it. Or he wants to deliver. If it's very pregnant and he wants to deliver to, he wants to be alone. Again, as a farmer, anytime you see symptoms, don't just rush and put chemical into the goat. Just observe. Give that goat 24 hours, 48 hours, and then start to see if the condition doesn't change. So please don't see a goat standing there. No, quickly you take your needle and you start injecting that goat. Yes, you need to observe. You need to make sure that is being consistent for a while. Look for other signs as well.
Please, are there more symptoms? Also, do the symptoms come with particular seasons? Because as we are having this interaction, it is the dry season now. Are there some symptoms that are peculiar to the dry season?
Yeah, I think seasons matter, because even with the feed that we talked about, in the rainy season, you have a lot of green. So now they're going to be moving from eating dry to green. So that shift in that first week, you're going to have a lot of diarrhea all over. Right? So your diarrhea powder should be ready. Your vaccinations should all be ready to prepare for that as a farmer. Right? And even going into the dry season as well, the weather really changes. Dust. Just like human beings, as we inhale more dust, we get cold. They also start having cold. If they are giving birth in this time too, that means that their kids, you need to provide heat for them. Pneumonia is one of the common diseases that you can get during cold season. Right? So the seasons and weather change also counts. I think the next thing you want to look at is the eye. Yes.
Can we go closer then?
Definitely.
Okay.
But,
that one seems friendly.
hopefully it's friendly. I think that is the most friendly one.
Yes, sir. You know your animals.
But no, their eyes should tell you, the farmer, a lot. Like, it needs to be bright enough for you to know. If it's
cloudy.
Yes, if it's sick, you will know very easily that the goat's eye is like watery, cloudy. Look at that goat's eye. Like, it's a perfect sign that that is a very healthy goat. So you want to take a look at that as well. Same with the eye. You also use the eye to check. Now there we go. We also use the eye to check for worms.
Worms?
Yeah, whether they have worms or not. So you can take the goat, pull the lid and see if it's how pink it is. If it's lighter, that means that you need to deworm them as well. So that is also another thing that we look at. Then you want to look at their nostrils.
Their nostrils?
Yeah, their nostrils and their anus.
Really?
Yes, so they could, both sides could have discharge, and the eyes too could have discharge.
Wow.
Yes, so there are times they have pink eye. You will see discharge coming. That means you need to also treat it for pink eye and clean it. Otherwise, they could get blind.
Really?
Yes, we've had goats here that if you don't clean it as frequent as possible, those discharge dries up and covers the eye.
When you say cleaning, does it involve some special mechanism?
Not really. You need a tissue. You need your scissors. Grab a tissue and or a cotton. Yeah. Cut the goat and then just make sure you're cleaning that side.
That's all.
Yes.
No medication.
No,
involved.
no. You can put eye powder.
Oh.
You can give some antibiotics to heal, but in terms of the cleaning, you just want to wipe that liquid that is discharged.
Does their wool tell anything?
Yes, it does a lot. It depends on what you're doing. So most of these guys, basically we apply porn at their back, and that is to prevent tick and lice.
Oh, okay.
That liquid is very sticky. So once they lie down and stuff, even the dirt will be sticking on them, and you see their hair being very sticky.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what treatment, you might misjudge them.
Yes.
But normally you want to have a very smooth and fair. Like that brown goat is always like a perfect goat example. I mean, that pregnant woman too has a very good looking
pregnant what, Fred?
woman. Is a woman for me. It's my baby, right?
Okay.
So yeah, you want to look at their skin as well. It does tell if it's like standing up and rough.
Yeah.
They also shed over time. So it depends on the process they are going through. But then normally you want to have a smooth, oily sort of skin also on them, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That has been very educative. Once again, this is Farming in Africa YouTube channel. If you are new here, we deliver beautiful educational content on farming basically, and our specialty as a company is on livestock farming. Everything livestock farming, we've got you covered. We have our contact details in our bio. We also on all other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Right here we give you back-to-back educational content. You might want to do yourself a favor this year by following us, even if you are not a livestock farmer. Hey, this is free knowledge. Why not? So that when you find yourself somewhere where the convo is about this, you can make, intelligent and meaningful contributions. Hit the subscribe button. Hit also the notification button right there so you get notified whenever we bring you an interesting episode. Follow us on all other socials and see you next time.